Okay, I think we will get started. Hi, my name's Megan. I am with ACT. I'm the Director of Leadership and uh, excuse me, the Director of Leadership. And I appreciate everyone taking their time today. And we're excited for our webinar today. And we really appreciate Science Olympiad being here and sharing their expertise. But before we get started, there's just a few housekeeping items I wanted to review. We have some other upcoming innovation series webinars that we hope everyone will be able to attend. Our next one is in June on pivoting to practice on work-based learning experiences. We really think it'll be a great topic, so we hope you'll be able to join. And you can see our other two are there as well. With that, we also have an upcoming CTE Innovation Summit that we've been organizing on June 1st. We really think there are some excellent panelists and speakers that are going to be part of the group. You can see them, the who's who at the Innovation Summit here. It's really going to be exceptional. So if you need more information, it's on our website. We do hope people will take a gander. With that, those are the only housekeeping items I had. I want to introduce Science Olympiad, who is a 37-year-old national nonprofit organization dedicated to improving the quality of K-12 science education, increasing student interest in science, creating a technologically literate workforce, and providing recognition for outstanding achievements by both students and teachers. With that, I will hand it over to Katrina. Thank you so much for being here today, Katrina.
We are so excited to be here. Just to kick us off a little bit, if you wouldn't mind putting in the chat your name, your organization or school, and your role. Are you a CTE teacher? Are you a science teacher? Are you an administrator? Who are you? So we'll just take a minute while people put that in the chat so we can see that. And then in the meantime, the four of us will introduce ourselves as well. I'm Katrina Pavlik. I'm the Deputy Executive Director at Science Olympiad, and I will hand it over to John Lohr to introduce himself as well.
Hi, I'm John Lohr. I'm the Vice President of STEM Education for Science Olympiad. So that means I work on a lot of our content as well as our professional development activities.
Great. Thank you, John. Arti, can you introduce yourself as well?
Hi, I'm Arti Sangwan. I am a STEM teacher here at Worcester Technical High School, teaching in all three Project Lead the Way academies with biomed, pre-engineering, and leading computer science, along with having very well-established Science Olympiad teams.
Great. And Jenny.
Hey everybody, I'm Jenny Kopack, CEO of Science Olympiad, and I've been around since day one, 37 years as a competitor, as a coach, and now working here and running the national office. So really excited to talk with you guys today, and thank you.
Great, thank you all. And it looks like people have been putting their information in the chat, so it looks like we have some CTE specialists, we have some administrators, some program coordinators, so a nice variety both from higher ed and secondary and middle school spaces. So it's great to have you all here. We will have time for questions at the end. If anything comes up, feel free to put it in the chat. We'll make sure that we address it. So to get started, today's agenda, we'll do an overview of Science Olympiad. If you're a newbie to Science Olympiad or you kind of vaguely know who we are, we'll give you a 101. And then we will make the connection between CTE and STEM the way that we see it through our program and the partnerships that we've developed over the years. And then we will also have a chance to dive into the MySO program, which we think is a beautiful blend of CTE and STEM for use both at home and at school. So we'll have a nice variety of content today. Science Olympiad, like Megan said, has been around for 37 years. We're a national nonprofit organization, and we serve grades K through 12, although we also do have some college chapters. So those of you who are in higher ed, keep an eye out for our alumni chapters that are all throughout the country. We have about 35 of them now. On the left side of the screen, you'll see a description of our Elementary Science Olympiad program that covers K through 6. And there are non-competitive and competitive options for Elementary Science Olympiad. When we're talking non-competitive, think like STEM night, family fun night, right? When families are getting together, or even students during the school day, and they're engaging in hands-on activities that are building their understanding of science concepts, just for fun, right? But also for educational development. We do have some states that also have competitive tournaments in the elementary space. And those competitive tournaments are very similar to what you would see in the middle school and high school space. If you have additional questions about the elementary program, reach out to us. I'm going to skip over a lot about that program because I know many of you are working with older students, but feel free to reach out to us. On the right-hand side, we describe our middle school and high school divisions. And again, we have non-competitive and competitive options. John will be talking about our biggest non-competitive program, which is MySO. So I'm going to skip over that and just talk about what we are probably best known for, which is our competitive side. And so what does that look like? At the school level, teams of about 15 to 20 students gather in usually an after-school club or a team. They work with a coach who is usually a STEM teacher or a CTE teacher, or it could be another staff member at the school who's just willing to be the coach and help guide students. And those students work to prepare about September through February for tournament competitions. They are preparing for competitive events in a variety of fields and a variety of topics in a variety of ways. So think track and field meet, but instead of students getting prepared to compete in shot put and long jump, they are preparing to compete in an anatomy and physiology test, or a fossils identification competition, or they have built a gravity vehicle or a ping pong parachute that they are getting ready to take to a tournament. And they are competing at the local level, regional level, state level. Those teams that make it out of the state level get to the national competition, which we are actually hosting virtually in a couple of weeks. So that's really exciting. And I will say, so I skipped over a lot of wonderfully important things. Check out our website for more details, and certainly reach out to us if you want to learn more. But I will say that one of the amazing kind of side advantages of the Science Olympiad is that students are also, they're simultaneously building science skills and knowledge, and they're also engaging with mentors through industry partners, through staff members in their school and their community who are helping them build and develop those skills. So they are creating workforce skills in addition to those science skills. And here in Illinois, we're actually based in Illinois. Our national office is based in Illinois. We received designation as a career and technical student organization in 2020. So we are officially a CTSO in Illinois. And we're really proud to be a part of the CTE family. I'm sure that Jenny will reiterate that for us, but we're really excited to be here. With that, I'm going to kick it over to Jenny, and she can talk a little bit about the way that we think of CTE and STEM melding and working together.
So, hey, everybody, it's just great to be here, and it's great to see you guys coming from Hawaii, and you've got South Carolina, New Mexico, Maine, Nebraska, Wisconsin, all around the country. Thanks for being here from all different levels of, Project Lead the Way teachers up to department levels to, running state, levels as well. So Science Olympiad, hopefully you know what Science Olympiad is, but if you don't, we are here to join the party. We're here to bring more students opportunity. And that really is, at the end of the day, I think the goal of everyone on this, on this call, everyone who's part of ACTE. We want to bring more opportunities to students. And in our state, John and I have been part of, state level meetings for, both of our entire careers. That's actually where we met. And a lot of the talk is, about STEM or about CTE. And I'm not an or person, I'm an and person. So I love thinking about how we can combine forces to reach more people and reach more students. So every time someone brought up a roadblock in CTE or in a roadblock about our workforce in Illinois or nationally, why we're not, getting more high skill, high wage jobs filled by students who are prepared, I kept thinking about ways we could partner with other organizations to bring more opportunities to students so that we can have a more prepared workforce. So I get really excited talking about this. And like Katrina said, we were able to work with Illinois State Board of Ed to get that CTSO designation, which is huge for us, because I think what it does is it proves to you guys that we're really serious about blending skills that traditional science, technology, engineering, and math students have, along with what the CTE programs offer. I coach Science Olympiad, and I always sent all of my Science Olympiad kids to the CTE department. That's where we did all of our building. That's where we did all of our CAD design. That's where all the cool machines were. There were 3D printers. You guys have all the stuff. So it was ridiculous how I kept seeing, barriers between those two departments. And I know some of that's institutional and bureaucratic, but I think the kids are a great way to be the Trojan horse to break down those barriers. And so we've got all these really interested kids who want to build a hybrid resume for themselves with skills that cross their streams. So when we see kids wanting to do AP courses and also learn more about dual credit, I think it goes both ways. So we feel like we can add to the conversation of awareness and opportunity for not only what the job landscape is, but what 2- and 4-year colleges and actually direct out of school jobs can be. And a lot of our Science Olympiad events were a huge umbrella. We touch every letter in STEM. And honestly, just like CTE has a bunch of different skills that it's supporting, Science Olympiad has that same feel and focus. We want students to have some choice. We want them to have an aligned curriculum. Obviously, every single one of our events is aligned to NGSS standards, but you'll find the soft skill building that's really important to CTE jobs and the workforce today, part of everything we do: teamwork, collaboration, and problem solving. And we also have a really huge focus on reaching out to underserved populations. We have an urban schools initiative, which is really strong around the country and has a great workforce component and industry component. So we're interested in building that. So we are here to, to expand the umbrella, to bring everybody together. And I really can't think of a better example of the kind of teacher that's bringing that message to students than Artie. I mean, Katrina will give an intro to her, but Artie's really going to talk, to you guys about how it works in her school and how she's able to, bring those two sides together to make a whole. So thank you.
Thanks, Jenny. Yes, we're so excited and honored to have Artie join us. She started right before we got on the call, she started a group of students in a science competition, and then she has to run to another science competition. So she's a busy lady. But Artie Sangwan is a STEM and CTE teacher at Worcester Technical High School in Maryland. She teaches AP Physics, Computer Science, and Engineering. She also coaches the Science Olympiad team, as she mentioned, and she was recently selected as the Worcester County Teacher of the Year, which is just awesome. And it's clear to us why she would get selected for that. So Artie, I'm going to let you take it from here.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Katrina. Thanks, Jenny. So first of all, welcome to this webinar, and a big hello from CTE. I'm so thrilled to see so many folks representing CTE, from Project Lead the Way teachers to STEM teachers to all the CTE supervisors and coach. I'm here at the Career Technological Education, and I am in it. I'm part of it. I completely know where you're coming from, and I'm really happy to be that part or bridge between the trades and the STEM part of it. So Just to give you the excitement of what Science Olympiad is, if you are involved in CTE, you know that Skills USA is a competition which all the trades participate and students are pushed to perform, and there's a great deal of excitement. Science Olympiad is the STEM sister of Skills USA. So I'll give you a brief of how Science Olympiad has been implemented on our side here at Worcester Technical High School. And I hope that you figure out, or you'll be able to find out those means in order to have that opportunity provided to your students and have them access or have the exposure of larger platform. So as I said, that I am in all three project lead the way. I've taught biomed this year. I'm teaching pre-engineering, AP physics, and computer science. Along with that, the journey of Science Olympiad started almost 6 years ago. We started with one team, and the excitement was great, and then we added more students. And I'll share the story that how that transcend to middle school, because we want to keep the excitement going, keep the exposure going. So now, as of currently this year, or for past 4 years, we have 2 successful teams, both at Division C, which is a high school, and Division B, which is middle school, where students participate in regionals and states competition. And there has not been a single year where they did not give me an opportunity to go to states with them. So while I was thinking about it, I break this whole component down into 5 key elements. That what do I think? Why Science Olympiad is really beneficial, important, and what my students are actually getting out of it. Evidence is right there. Recruitment has been going on ever since I have figured out the keys to get the motivation up. Despite of COVID-19 pandemic, this year also our students participated in the virtual setup, in virtual settings, giving their time up, who wants to study again after finishing up a school day, right? Students do want to, because if placed properly, there are certain big motivational factors, the 5 factors that I think are important. And they not only won at regionals, they made it to states, hosted by Johns Hopkins, even though this year we did not get to go to Johns Hopkins, but they were still there present from 8:30 till 2:30 in the afternoon, competing on various events. So first and foremost, what I think gets them excited is a cross-curriculum benefit. So altogether, there are 23 events, and in each event, pair of students participate, competing against all other participants. The events are not just, they're not just subject-based. The events are such where students get to apply their understanding of the subject, scaffolding, or understanding the prior knowledge that they have gained. But at the same time, they work in a way that they get the benefit of seeing somebody from a different major. Say, for example, one of the events is forensics, right? So someone from criminal justice at CTE would like to participate in the event along with someone who is a biomedical major from the Project Lead the Way program. And I see this particular pair being very successful because the biomed student knew exactly what they are doing in terms of dealing with the chemicals and identifying the unknown. But at the same time, the criminal justice student knew exactly how to evaluate, how to analyze the scenario, and being able to find or resolve the station scenario. So that is the cross-curriculum benefit. We have seen students aligned with somebody who is in carpentry working with a pre-engineering student to participate in that gravity vehicle that Katrina shared. So integrating STEM part of it, integrating design process along with the skills that come with from a CTE point of view. that transcends directly into real life application, because students get to see that all those content that they are learning, of course, CTE has a direct workforce placement, but at the same time, they get to experience that why is it all important in real life. Many times these mentors, like it takes few years to get to that point where you have all these university professors and mentors who are virtually or in person are being able to help the students, but they see that experience from somebody who is placed in the industry, that all that they are learning here during the high school, how is it relevant? So that is a real life application which that they take in order to further grow on it. They make their interest, they get to just, they figure out that what is the pathway that they want to take, what other additional courses they want to take, because they have a mentor or somebody to look up to, like, I would like to get to that position in the industry when I'm done with my CTE coursework or college coursework. Out of these 23 events, there are always a certain percentage, say 6 or 7 events, which are build or testing prototypes, the most fun events. Reason being that student get to work with someone who is outside of their department in order to build a prototype. They spend all that time with that mentor, say an aerospace engineer or a carpentry teacher or automotive, even though they are not part of that program, but they get to be part of, as Jenny said, that you get to get into that CTE lab or CTE workshop and get to see all those cool machines, and that develop the interest. In fact, to relate directly that to a student story, I have had so many Project Lead the Way students who want to take that extra class, that extra elective in CTE. I have a student who we have had, each year we have few students who always want to take that automotive class, even though they are not majoring in that CTE, but they're pre-engineering, but they want to get that exposure, or be part of that welding. Like, I want to do, instead of sim, I want to do one semester of welding and get that experience. Guess what? They took that experience, and by the time they were in the senior year, they created their capstone project, which was they were able to use that welding knowledge to create a modular for a wheelchair. That's phenomenal, combining STEM along with CTE by student and promoting the knowledge that they have gained through both the pathways. Next, which I think is one of the buy-in or the excitement component that I see, that because all these events are on Saturday, right? So I always, like, students always wonder that why do we want to give our Saturdays? Saturday from, if you have to travel, so you're starting your day at 5 o'clock in the morning, to an event where we are testing again. Like, are we not already testing with our standardized test and all the quizzes and tests and studying? And that's what we are doing Monday to Friday. But then again, we go ahead and do that again on Saturday. It is the teamwork. The team spirit is amazing. When you get, whether it is a ride going to the Science Olympiad competition, or being part of that big university or college where the Science Olympiad is being hosted, is filled with energy. It is contagious. And I think many of you can connect that to that Skills USA energy, because it is just the same way. Students wanting to run across the campus to compete in various events, and taking their build prototypes and testing it, and waiting for that award ceremony, the final moment, and dashing through bleachers or dashing through wherever their school is located to get their ribbon, whether it's a 6th place, 5th place ribbon, or that medal. They are very proud of their achievement because the energy is very contagious. So all in all, it is worth introducing to students. I feel that I have given a great exposure, a great platform to my students by bringing Science Olympiad into CTE. That's basically how I summarize the key components and the benefits of STEM plus CTE. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Artie. I think I speak for the team when I say that you are our new spokesperson for all future presentations, right, Jenny? Thank you so much. That was perfect. I know that you have an event to get to, so go ahead and leave if you need to. But if anybody has any questions for Artie, stick them in the chat and we will definitely follow up with you if she's not available to answer them right away. She's a busy woman today in particular. But I love what you mentioned too, Artie, about students from various departments working together and learning from each other. I think that's exactly what we're trying to create at the school level. So I'm going to turn it over to John now to talk about a new program that we started this year called MySO. So John, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Katrina. And again, like everybody, thank you guys for making the time and having us out to talk about the things that we're doing. The MySO program started kind of for two reasons. One, a recognition that given the way COVID was impacting everything, the 2021 school year was going to look really different. And we wanted to provide resources for both kids and teachers to continue their STEM learning and give them options to stay engaged with the content in a variety of different ways, as well as it created an opportunity for us to make stronger connections to the CTE space, as well as provide opportunity for students that may have interest in both STEM fields or particular CTE careers to do some of that exploration and do some of the reaching out that Artie was talking about with her students, and one of the things that makes the program engaging. And what essentially MySO is, it's a 9-month program with each month having a theme. And the cool thing is, because of that, I mean, this year we actually, the 9 activities aligned perfectly with 9 of the national career clusters. And as we were talking about it, we picked, depending on how we pick some other stuff, we could have easily covered the remaining 7 if we wanted to extend the program or double stuff up. And the idea behind it is it's a series of activities that really are written for kids to do at home. Though in all the descriptions and all the write-ups, we include things for teachers on how you would very easily incorporate the activities in your classroom, whether at the middle school or high school level. In addition to the activities that we feature, every month comes up with a career pathways video where the kids hear from some Science Olympiad alums about how that content that we're studying in the month led them to a particular career. So kids this year have heard from one of our past participants who went on to become an epidemiologist for Doctors Without Borders, to a couple of competitors that worked for SpaceX and were responsible for the Crew Dragon launches. This month, they're learning from a bunch of kids that have gone on to do engineering, went from doing engineering projects in high school to having careers at varying engineering firms. And so we'll take a look at particular this past month that focused on plants. If Katrina wants to would flip the slide for me. And the idea here is with plants, so we kind of want to do a deep dive into 1 month so you can kind of get a sense as to what everything looks like. And clearly the plants month focused on agriculture and STEM career clusters. And the 3 big pieces behind it were the lesson plan that for the STEM educators out there, or others may recognize, we built it around the 5E learning cycle model, and not only used kind of that traditional research-based approach to presenting a lesson, but also all the content in the lesson is aligned to the next generation science standards as well. So In the plans month, we start with an engage activity where we get kids thinking about what it looks like to be a plant, or what is a plant and how do we know. We then move on, and because we want to make sure we're engaging and kind of getting the kids into a research mindset, the explore activity, in plants month, we did used an online simulation that lets the kids understand the role that light plays in photosynthesis in plants. And this one I think is a really cool one because this simulation is based off of a very standard hands-on activity that you could do in the classroom if you had the materials, or if kids wanted to, they could very easily gather the materials and do the activity at home. Then there's an explain phase where our alums have helped us to develop some really great explanations and lectures to go through a lot of the content that the kids are kind of being exposed to and learning about. And then in the elaboration phase, there's a mix of videos, recordings, other simulations, other recommended activities that kids can do to extend their learning. And then, as we talked about, there's the STEM session video that gets posted. And last but not least, for people that want to kind of take it up a notch and do a little bit of competition, every month we run what we call the STEM Showdown, where after the kids have learned about the topic for the month, they can take a test against kids from and see how they do against students from around the country, both at the middle school level and the high school level. All right. All right. And I think, Katrina, that's back to you.
Sure. Yeah. Happy to take it from here. I do want to mention too, one of the things that we're doing in Illinois, and I imagine across the country as well, our schools and CTE organizations are thinking about ways that they can use activities for team-based challenges and work-based learning opportunities, particularly during COVID restrictions, where they might not be able to go to an industry partner. And we have in Illinois have been a part of creating plans to share using the MySO curriculum and extending it a bit to create team-based challenges that could be done through Zoom or could be done in the classroom. So that's another application of the MySO program. Like John mentioned, a teacher could absolutely take it on and run with it. And we know that many of our teachers and coaches have done that. Or a really motivated student could also just do everything on their own as well. So a couple of resources we wanted to share before we open it up for questions. Start thinking about your questions now. Our Science Olympiad website has a whole host of resources and explanations about all of our different programs and initiatives. The MySO page has all of the free downloadable lesson plans and slide decks, practice tests, and STEM career videos. So all of that is free and open to everybody who is interested, whether or not you have a Science Olympiad team at your school. And then we also wanted to mention our Science Olympiad TV YouTube channel has all of the career videos, as well as some content videos for students that are interested in diving deeper into different content. So from there, John and Jenny, while questions trickle in from our audience members, do you have anything else you want to add that you think would be helpful for people to know and understand about us?
I would say make sure to check out our workforce page, because we do have some resources on there that are aligned specifically to your audience, which would be fantastic. And also Katrina's being modest. She's putting together this national tournament week for the entire country leading up to our big national event. And it's a STEM Expo week, but it has resources and videos and all kinds of different activities that are actually aligned to, again, the career clusters. And we'll have some fun career-based challenges that we are getting from our friends at Learning Blade. I'm sure a lot of you around the country know what Learning Blade is. It's one of the biggest middle school career simulation platforms available. So our friends at Learning Blade are providing some free activities there, and that's going to be like a sort of like a password protected sneak peek that you usually can't get. So that's going to be free that week, and there'll be some really cool stuff about careers reaching that middle school target age, which so often you don't necessarily have the right resources for.
Yes, great point. And I will put the link to our STEM Expo Week in the chat in a moment. Jenny, would you mind answering this? Is Science Olympiad a CTSO in any other state?
It is not yet. I mean, we are hoping to get that designation. I mean, Marcy Johnson, the head of ISB and CTE here in Illinois, I'm sure some of you know her. She's a great friend and a big champion of STEM plus CTE. So we're really into the plus here. And I think a lot of the Perkins rewrite, the new authorization includes a specific designation for STEM that's mentioned several times, as is programming for middle schoolers. And so looking at Science Olympiad and our national reach and looking at the ability to reach 5th to 12th grade, a lot of other states are looking as a resource. So we would love to, if anyone is interested and has that connection. I see there's a couple of state CTE leaders on this call. Please contact us, because we would love to work with you and our state directors and our higher ed friends and community college friends in your state to get that designation.
Yep, absolutely. And I just put the STEM Expo Week in the chat for folks. Any other questions we have here? John, was there anything else you wanted to add as a former science teacher and administrator?
Yeah, Katrina, I think one of the other things that we hear a lot from our coaches and our industry partners that people like about our programs is one of the things that's kind of a hallmark of education in both the regular classroom space or the CTE space is trying to connect the students with their community and professionals within the community. And I know as a teacher, early on in my career, I really struggled with it, because you'd set up these experiences and you'd get great people and you do everything to get your kids all excited and engaged. And then it just didn't quite work out the way you envisioned it. I think one of the nice things that people have shared about the Science Olympiad is there's a structure to it that makes it a little more accessible, and it's a little easier for the person coming into the school to understand what they need to do and what their role can be and how can they make a contribution. As opposed to the very open, hey, I want to come, I want you to come into my classroom and visit, or we want to bring my class, we're going to bring some students from my class to your location. And we've seen, and through a variety of different teams and across the country have used the resources in their community to connect from anything from the public works department and the civil engineers with in the community and kind of village offices, to engineering firms, to mechanics and car dealerships. So it gives you a wide range of ways to make some really interesting connections and open the doors to meeting up with your community. Okay, and it looks like there was, Katrina just sent out a link about the question about directory on our website. If you really want to know anything about the program or see how the program looks like in your part of the country, you can check out our national map, and that'll link you up with our state directors. Or if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us in the national office, and we're more than happy to do introductions between anybody within a state and the state directors, or even teams and other folks in your state if you have questions and kind of want to get the boots on the ground story.
There's a direct link too, if you want to contact them. There is a contact SO directors immediate link if you're looking to get right to somebody in the state and you don't want to go hunting through a website. We'd also be happy to share through Megan and through you guys. We'd be happy to share a list of emails and names of our state directors who are sometimes in academia, sometimes at a community college, sometimes a STEM or a CTE teacher themselves. So we'd be happy to share all that with you as much as you want.
But we do have chapters in every state. So there is something for everyone. Thanks for all these wonderful questions. And I put my email in the chat as well. Please feel free to follow up with us and I can direct questions where they need to go. If you have anything else that you think of afterwards, just let us know. And it looks like we're in good shape. Megan, do you have any other questions or things you want us to cover?
No, this was all fabulous, and we really appreciate your time and efforts. And you know, partnering with ACT. We really like to see all these initiatives with STEM and CTE students. So we appreciate everyone's time. And again, this will be all this information will be on our website. So you can look for it and share it with you know, your colleagues alike. So with that, we again appreciate your time and effort so much, and thank you all for joining.
Right. Thank you.